Part 23 of the Comprehensive History of Christian Weston Chandler by GenoSamuel2.1. Let's get it going. It'll go.
What made him this way?
I don't know.
What is the attraction?
I don't know.
What keeps us fascinated?
I don't know. You tell me, brother.
This is the story of Chris Chan.
Of Christian Weston Chandler. I hate this. I hate it. Incredible. Wow. So crazy.
On January 14th, 2010, Christian filmed a video in which he sings his own lyrics over a remix by musician Moby of the song Mr. Plow, written for an episode of the cartoon series The Simpsons.
Say, what's the name? Christian Chandler. What's that name? Christian Chandler. What's the name? Christian Chandler. C-H-R-I-S-C-H-A-N. Say, what's the name? Christian Chandler. You don't need to worry, I'm drawing here. Drawing in cone, my pen and marker. My papa was chicken and named me Christian Chandler. Afternoon before the sunrise, I have a new page.
I think your father named you Christopher Chandler. Just wanted to clear that up. Not Christian, but...
Before you open your eyes,
yeah, this is rather incredible.
The hand-drawn art is quality, and that's the lie.
He then attempts to play a harmonica.
Hey, thanks for the bits, brother.
A day later,
Not bad.
he made a brief video for
I mean, let's be honest. There's no way to play the harmonica well, right? We've all accepted this as an absolute truth. How the fuck do you play a harmonica well? This doesn't make any sense to me, bro. Are you kidding me? Here we go. I just don't think it exists.
attention of Jack Thaddeus, Alec Benson Leary, Sean August Watley, creator of the comic Sonichu is Dead and regular contributor to the Asperpedia, and the webmaster for the aforementioned website, Mao Bamboo Ling.
This message is for Alec, Sean, Evan, and even Mao. You know what? I dare you four, all four of you, to come to my house and we'll see who stacks out better. The original...
Why would you... Chris, what the fuck are you doing? Why would you say that? Why would you invite people to your house? What is wrong with you? What are you doing? That's not the right play. What are you doing? I don't understand. Really, I mean, this one you just gotta learn a little, brother. What the hell?
Or you crappy copiers.
Crappy copiers.
On the 16th, Christian filmed a video attempting to brainwash his trolls by speaking a mix of Spanish and backwards English.
As usual, I will have 2 more pages tonight. I hope you all enjoyed the last page where Crystal finally got out of the mirror. But recently, I am reminded of an old Spanish expression which goes simply as "Tú necesitas ucrepsa eta y usino se va per ganar felicidad."
You need to hate Asperchu and love Sonichu to be happy for life. That is an absolutely beautiful fucking message. Can I just tell you that? What another beautiful message is that I'm gonna lose this game and I'm gonna have I'm gonna rage out. So we're winning here.
Por vida. A couple of strong verbs in that statement. Say it with me.
Verbs.
Ucrepsa eta. Ucrepsa
sure,
eta. Y usinos evil. Usinos evil.
And love Sonichu.
Alright. Stay safe and have a good day. Bye.
Okay. The spree of verbal assault continued into January 17th, when, under Vivian G's advice, Chris reviews the entirety of the...
It goes to you speaking Sims. It sounds like it, yeah. Yeah, prisoners are the only ones who play harmonics. The harmonica, true.
Asperchu's story so far, and criticizes it.
I am here at this point recording this video to make it perfectly clear. Although it was a bit of a mistake for that last video I made. Okay. But you know what? Regardless of that video, I should not have had to make such a video. Because I could just show you all the evidence that I have just read through the entire bunch of pages of Alex Asperchu. Okay. First off, just to name a few things, there are the obvious sturdy slanders and obvious references to which I mean the old Buddha belly that I used to have. Exaggerated man.
Bro, that's why my game is going so poorly. Oh my god, I didn't get my I didn't get my hero.
Boobs, and even the goatee I used to have. I had one time, and he makes them, and he makes.
Bring the goatee back, Chris.
His Asperchu character wear nearly every shirt I wear, nearly every shirt, and a crappy copy of a medal.
You wear one shirt. Like a cartoon character. What do you mean nearly every shirt you wear? Come on, what?
My shirts. And then to make matters worse, he goes and besmirches my dog.
Besmirch.
By making a a crappy copy of my dog.
The dog looks better than your actual dog, Chris. What are you talking about?
Patty, the spirit of Patty will have his soul for dinner tonight. Okay. She will be haunting your nightmares, Mr. Leary.
She'll be haunting your nightmares.
And of course, even including the unapproved recreation of my person within his pages, as you can see right here. And then even worse, starting on page C29, he sets me on fire. He sets me on fire.
Oh, sorry.
And it's even worse because he let me be on fire on page 30. I swear, if that ain't the most outrageous thing that he has ever done against me. But I could definitely reference a few more instances of where he actually is considered peeing on himself within his own comic series.
Nice. Sometimes it just do be that way, you know what I'm saying?
First book,
piss myself all the time.
Of graphic nudity or sexual reference on page 3 of his Zero book.
Oh no!
Even worse off, on page 10, and while he's in that Burger King. With all his goddamn homosexual references as well.
Oh my god.
And he uses uncensored swear words such as shit and ass in between all of his books.
Wow.
So many goddamn of those.
What a piece of shit, huh?
And his A and B books are anti-religious.
Why? How do you know that?
That little son of a bitch. He's basically peeing on his own.
How is that anti-religious?
Anti-religious.
This is Asperchu. What? How does this anti-religious? I'm so confused.
That little son of a bitch. He's basically peeing on his own self. Now look, I'll admit I have done my little share of nudity within my few pages, within a couple of pages, but they were censored by either images of women for vagina.
He put his actual penis in one of them. If I do recall this correctly, he like put his wiener down on the page and then he traced it. Whatever. But yeah, okay.
And bananas for dick. And it was and that book was finally finalized and organized, so that it'd be appropriate for all those of ages, TVY7 and such.
Great. I guess.
And if I ever said a swear word within my book, I would censor it. But he does not censor his own swear words.
Okay.
But like I said, he's basically gone through the things again. He's basically mocking me with the references of myself. Between the belly, the man boobs, the goatee, the glasses, numerous shirts, a fake medal.
Not the shirts.
A copy of my dog, an unapproved recreation of myself and my son and my characters, and even sets me on fire. It makes his quote unquote Sonichu cologne go against me as not being the original creator of the original Sonichu.
This is so dumb.
He wishes he knows my Sonichu Rose Shoe and all my electric hedgehogs as well as I do, but he cannot because he is not me, the original creator. He is not me. So I'd send this message again to Alec, Evan.
It's so sad, man, because if he just stopped caring, nobody would troll him anymore. He just doesn't understand it.
And even Mao. That's a thanks to Sean, by the way. But to those three, die in hell.
God, why is this art? Why is he keep these last two videos? He just keeps telling people to like take their own lives. Jesus Christ! I mean, listen. He's justified in feeling this way. I'm just gonna be honest with you. But still, it's like holy moly! It's intense. It's an intense one, guys. It's intense. I'll put this here. Wait. Oh fuck! No, I didn't get the range on it. I'm not going to get the range. Actually, you know what? Beautiful. This will be perfect.
My late dog eats at your souls and kills you in your sleep.
Nice. Very beautiful.
But aside from that, his book is the pages within the so-called Asperchu series. They are definitely ludicrous and horrendous and horrific.
Wow.
Even a horrific.
That's a lot of words.
Even as horrific as within Vivian G's own book. And my pastor, Elizabeth Foss, my pastor has read the book from cover to cover, and she hates it.
Wow.
My reverend hates it. And I don't like it either because...
Wait, you're right. Is he telling us that that he has showed the reverend at his, whatever, his church... that Asperger's Sonic. Is that what he's telling us right now? That's fucking incredible. If I just have to say that's incredible. I think that makes perfect sense to show people that. Yeah, I think that they would respond very interestingly to that.
Is of disgrace and slander and mockery of my person and my character. Just about as much, but actually this is worse.
I gotta get more fucking... No, I'm gonna lose now.
The Asperchu and everything there, that is worse than that book. I'm sorry, Vivian, but that book is just no good.
Okay.
And I'm definitely gonna let my pastor know about the Asperpedia and the Asperchu, and through all through her powers within her church and the congregation, and even the FBI. We will see you in Minnesota and take you down personally, Mr. Alec Basin Larry. Your mockery of my person is not appreciated. Other than that, I'll leave with most everybody else in peace. Have a good day. Except for you three, of which I mentioned earlier.
Shortly after, Asperpedia's Mao made a YouTube response video, but it has since been lost. Meanwhile, the Wikipedia sysop, Cogsdev, uploaded Mailbag 41 for Chris to address, but then soon after, moved all non-Asperchu related letters to Mailbag 42, making 41 a completely Asperchu-filled offering, instead of responding to the messages in any way.
Wendy Williams placed under financial guardianship? Why do the women keep getting put under financial guardianship? I'll check that out later.
Christian deleted all of them and wrote a 7-point manifesto in their place, proclaiming that he had no relation to Asperchu nor Alec Benson Leary, and wholeheartedly disapproved of his content. Chris also noticed that Leary introduced more Sonichu characters into his Asperchu comics, such as the Chaotic Combo, which led Christian to insert his own parodies of Sonichu parodies from the Asperchu comics into his Sonichu comics, albeit with new names.
I'm sorry. I'm too old for this shit. What I think I heard was that Asperchu created parodies of Sonichu characters, so Chris created parodies of the Sonichu parodies from the Asperchu comics. Is that what he just said? Oh,
he even introduced his own take on Asperchu, renaming him Mitch Sonichu. On January 20th,
why Mitch?
Chris made a drawing asking for people to help Haiti after it was devastated by an earthquake 8 days prior, though Alec Benson Leary had made his own commemorative advert a day after the tragedy, which had been featured prominently on the Wikipedia. Christian's drawing also subtly took a jab at...
Oh my god. I'm sorry, this is not nice. Wait, he beat him to the punch on like celebrating Haiti, so Chris felt compelled? This is literally like Marvel versus DC right now. This is crazy. Wow.
Evan Christopher George, since it featured both Simonchu and Simonla, touting them as a brother and sister team. On January 21st, Christian answered Mailbag 43. Chris addressed questions regarding a recent page of issue 10, in which Mitch Sonichu was suggested that he should get a makeover and change his fashion sense for the better, when his appearance strongly resembled Christian himself. There was another correspondence with Evan Christopher George, who was told by Chris an elaborate story in which Evan's creation, Simonchu himself, personally spoke with Simone LaRochechu, who told him that she did not want to return to Evan. In addition, the rejected mailbag section featured a statement from someone who criticized Chris for declaring that Alec was not allowed to bring his Sonichu characters into his own story, when Chris himself had never gotten permission from Sega or Nintendo to place their original characters into Sonichu. He also commented that the Wikipedia sysop had no say concerning advertisements, which were crucial in keeping the site running smoothly, and felt that Christian's hand-drawn on paper drawing style was inferior to Alec's digital style. Chris requested that he go f*** himself.
Okay,
in addition, he informed Vivian that he would attend his first young adult social club meeting, where he hoped he would get more exposure concerning his comic book work. It was during this meetup that he met a 23-year-old woman, who will be referred to herein as the Wallflower. During her first encounter with Chris, she told him that she was not ready for a relationship. Despite them establishing a friendship, Christian, against her wishes, believed that after some time and insistence, he could make her into his girlfriend.
Hey, sometimes you can. But I don't think it would work for Chris because there's not a lot of redeeming qualities. I think the lack of showering, I'm not trying to be rude, is probably the worst of it. So,
on January 22nd, Chris had his first phone conversation with Alec Benson Leary.
Hi, is this Christian Weston Chandler?
Yes, this is Christian. May I help you?
Hi, Chris. This is Alec Benson Leary. Is it okay if we talk?
Oh yes, sure, yes. So
okay, good. Well, there's
okay. So what's so weird about this is it sounds like this guy just like randomly called him. Which, okay, whatever. I mean, that's obviously very bizarre. But Chris is like, oh yeah, sure. Why is it so normal for people to have Chris's number where he's like, oh, who's this? Oh, you. Oh yeah, let's talk. Like, it's not. You're not using Discord, Chris. The fuck. You see why your parents are
couple things
pissed.
I wanted to talk to you about tonight. First of all, well, I understand you've got a problem with the ads that are on Wikipedia.
Okay, well, yeah, I'll let you have your ads on the Wikipedia, but don't make them too big, and leave them in the sidebar.
Okay.
I do not want them covering over the introductory box or anything else where I have to scroll down even to edit the pages or even to log in.
Yeah, my friend Mao, he actually makes the ads for me. I didn't make them myself, but I can try to talk to him about that.
Okay, how about this? Just to make it equal, put an advertisement for the Wikipedia on the Asperpedia, about as much as the Asperpedia ads for on my Wikipedia.
Well, you'd probably want to
Alright,
contact Mal because he's my manager. He does all the the grunt work on Asperpedia. I'm sure he'd be willing to sell you some ad space on Asperpedia. We could definitely try to work something like that out.
All right, well, Mal and I can talk through email. All right.
Like you say, we're on friendly terms right now, and I'd like to keep it that way because I got my start because of you. But to be honest, I want to be honest and frank with you. You made a couple of videos, and I don't watch all your videos, but I do try to keep up. I mean, I spend a lot of time drawing the comics, so I don't have a lot of time to watch videos anymore. But I saw a couple of videos where you actually threatened me with physical
okay,
harm.
well, yeah, okay, well.
Also, the video where you you wanted your dog to eat me or something like that. Your dog to eat my soul. Like
Yeah.
the death threats were kind of scary to begin with, but that was just,
Wait, I don't know if they're death threats or if they were just suggestions to terminate yourself, right? That's a more accurate reenactment. Is that it? This thing passes through my shit. Okay.
Yeah, okay, I'll take that back as well. I'm sorry.
Kristen criticizes the creators of Asperchu for featuring blood and gore in their recent stories, and tells Alec to inform his readers in a disclaimer that Chris's Sonichu characters who appear in Asperchu are parodies.
well, as you said, those weren't yours though. You said those were copies. You said those were just copies of.
Yeah. Your versions are just recreated facsimiles.
You're confused. I mean, you said in the comics that those were mine, but so they must be original, right? You said in the comic they weren't the chaotic combo, so they must be original. But then you came and took them. I don't get, and you renamed them, and and not just the combo, but you tried to retake my Asperchu, and Asperchu wasn't a copy of anything. You renamed him Mitch Sonichu. I mean, Asperchu's mine.
Why would he name him Mitch Sonichu, by the way? That kind of validates the character. It's like, yeah, this is the Mitch version of Sonichu. It's just it wasn't a good play, Chris. You could have played that a little bit better. Okay, I'm just saying. You could have played it a little bit better.
I don't really appreciate that. You accuse me of thievery, but then you go and try to take my Asperchu.
Okay, well, no, you did take my Sonichu and made him claim him to be the original one, and even worse, you made him brother to Asperchu with the homosexual tendencies and whatnot. Even when you drew the chaotic combo hedgehog, you made Wild a homosexual when he is not.
Well, but Wild's not yours. I mean, what does it matter if my Wild is gay? I mean, I felt it was depth to the character. I was just trying to give them a little personality.
Okay, well,
I mean, Asperchu has a girlfriend, Dixie Chew.
No, actually, I read further in the book, and Dixie Chew dumped his ass.
Well,
I'm sorry. Chris is keeping up on the lore? Is that what we're hearing here? It's like, yeah, I've been keeping up on the lore, and you're kind of full of shit, brother, okay? What the fuck? That's fucking crazy, dude.
She doesn't mean that. They're destined to be together, Chris. I mean, can't you see those undertones? I mean, that's where this whole comic is going. Even if a girl does dump him, what does it matter? He went after a girl. He didn't go after a boy.
True, maybe he's bisexual.
Sonichu is his brother. I mean, why would he, even if he was gay, why would he go for his brother? That's true. Sick.
That is sick.
Yeah.
I mean, why would
anyway, okay. Well, listen, how about this? In your comics, when you, in the future, or in re-referencing the past pages, the Sonichu that is Asperchu's brother, you just refer to him as Michael, and the Wild you refer to him as Bobby, the Angelica, Trisha, etc., just like I said in my page. And Mitch can be Asperchu's nickname.
But Chris, those aren't really their characters' names. They have the same names as your character.
Yeah, okay, well, you see, when I gave the KI combo characters those names originally in my books, those would be their nicknames. They're all Sonichus and Rose Chews individually, but they're just of different types. He would without the nickname, he would be Grass Sonichu. Without the nickname, she would be Water Rose Chew, Flying Rose Chew, Fighting Sonichu, Sonic Sonichu, etc.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. Well, see, there's one of the differences, though, because in my comic, those are really their names. I mean, Angelica, Punchy, Bubble.
No, you see, but those are actually their names in my book. In my books.
They're nicknames, you said.
Yeah.
In my comic, they're their actual names. That's the difference.
No, I'm talking in reference to the Pokemon game. If you want to name your Bulbasaur, they call it giving it a nickname, but really it's just giving them their name.
Chris, my characters aren't Pokemon, though. I don't draw Pokemon. That's not how it works in my comic.
You have been drawing Pokemon. Sonichu is an electric hedgehog Pokemon.
I thought he was a Sonichu. I mean,
Sonichu is an electric hedgehog. I make it perfectly clear that Sonichu and Roschu are electric hedgehog Pokemon.
Well, at that point, like you're stealing from the Pokemon people. Okay, Chris, what are you talking about? This is so confusing.
Oh, okay. Well, I think the point of confusion there is where they're like I've never seen any Pokeballs in your comic or trainers or any of those other Pokemon elements.
Yeah, okay.
Like shouldn't they live in Pokeballs?
Okay. Yes, there's a Pokeball that specially catches Sonichus and Roschu called the S-Chew ball, and there is a reference to that within the book.
Sonichu lives in like a house, doesn't he? I mean, he lives like a person who's training.
Well, you see, he was originally a wild Pokemon, the original Sonichu, but the original Roschu was originally the Raichu that was caught and trained by the Pokemon trainer Kelly, Kel for short.
I actually didn't know any of that, but I digress. The point is that Asperchu and my version of the Chaotic Combo, all those characters, those are not Pokemon in my comics. I mean, Pokemon don't exist in the world of Asperchu. Like Asperchu, he lives with his grandparents in a house. I mean, he's a person.
Okay, all right, but still, it just makes it sound like my characters when you talk about the Sonichu from Quickville.
But they're not your characters. We've established that. They're not yours. I mean, they're my characters.
I have
it's original.
All
like I said, my comic's not a parody.
Okay, Sonichu, and Roschu. I actually have paper-registered copyrights on those, so I could sue you. But I'm trying to resolve this peacefully.
I think in the one episode they're like, yeah, just because you file a copyright doesn't mean you actually own the copyright. So it's kind of funny what he's saying because it's like not really true.
Okay, so you have...
Yeah, look under the copyright section on the Wikipedia.
But you said Sonichu is a Pokemon, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure Nintendo has the copyright claims of Pokemon. So...
Still,
I mean, it's a good point. I might want to just contact Nintendo just to make sure everything's okay, to make sure I'm not stepping on their toes.
Oh my God.
They have been contacted before and everything's okay, so you don't need to do that.
But, well then, I mean, how can you hold the copyright to a Pokemon?
Virginia Library of Congress has allowed me...
Wouldn't it, well, Virginia Library of Congress, can't tell Nintendo what to do. I mean, they can't tell Nintendo to just hand over copyrights to their creations to just anybody. I mean, Nintendo could take, the Virginia Library of Congress to court and say, hey, wait a minute, you issued this copyright illegal.
True.
Okay, look, well, let's just, this is, what we're talking about right now, it just seems pointless to what we were originally talking about. Let's just agree that...
Well, I don't think it's pointless. I mean, I'm just trying to establish that... I mean, you said you could sue me. I mean, I don't want to get sued. Nobody wants to get sued. But
yeah,
I just don't understand how you could sue me. That's what I'm confused on. I mean, you're confusing me, Chris. I mean, call me naive, but I just don't get exactly what you're getting
at. Well, let's just rewind and go back to what we agreed on before, readjusting the advertisement size and giving the possible Wikipedia ad on the Asperpedia, and just like the Sonichu in your book, as Michael Sonichu, and the other Sonichus and Roshus that of the non-KI combo.
Okay.
Let's just rename them by the names I suggested in my book. In your book.
Well, all right. Like I said, I'll talk to Mao about the ads. As far as the renaming goes, I mean, I guess you can include, you can make up some characters, Mike Sonichu and Mitch Sonichu and whatever. That's your comic book. If you want to create those characters, that's fine. I mean, like I said, I'm not going to rename my characters.
All right, well, listen, the battery power on my phone is running low, so perhaps we could talk again another time. Well, you take care.
I'd like to talk to you.
Later that day,
Okay.
Christian filmed a captain's log, which mostly focuses on the controversial Mitch Sonichu makeover in Sonichu issue 10, which had some readers asking if this meant that Mitch was a homosexual.
First off, I want to give a shout out to the Portland Sonichu fan club, their president Megan, and their vice president Brad, who did this song that's playing on in the background. So it's me on CD here. Thank you. And also to Becky, who's doing a paper on me as a modern cartoonist. I appreciate that. Thank you. Anyway, I stand strong. I continue to draw the pages. Yes, they will be uploaded bulk. I mean, if I can't get 5 in a single day, then I'll still, I'll get them up the next day. But at least I'm doing the average of 2 pages a day. I stand strong. Anyway, also, the makeover I did, I just answered a new bunch of messages in the mailbag. You know what? Look, I say this. Think about it, like on Home and Garden, the Learning Channel, even on Discovery, and even on MTV. There's such home remodeling, cooking, cuisine, and myth-busting shows, and even Pimp My Ride. And would you call the people on those shows homosexuals for giving something else or somebody else a makeover?
Yes, I would. You know what's interesting, though? Apparently Pimp My Ride is really shitty. They would have them sign contracts where they can't sell their car, which is like whatever, I guess. But then they wouldn't even really be functional. They'd break down so quickly. So they'd have a car that was like maybe working kind of, and then they would basically get their car fucked like through the asshole. Isn't that fucking crazy? That's fucking nutty boys, dude.
No, you don't. So that myth is busted. And also, I still say what I said against Evan and those people on there.
The video abruptly ends, possibly due to the camera running out of power. He near immediately followed up with a short video to complete the captain's log.
Anyway, I'll leave y'all with that. And obviously the Asperpedia is going down, because Alec and his crew are shooting themselves in the foot. I would never do blood and gore. That's just gross.
Okay.
I mean, if you're not queasy, then come back to Sonichu. Alright.
On January 25th.
If you're not queasy, or if you are queasy, come back to Sonichu. That is... Okay.
The Wallflower sent Chris an email listing her various websites, revealing herself to be an amateur writer. Christian admired her skill, and wished for them to talk over the phone soon, wanting to exchange more information about each other, and wishing to meet again soon. Her laughter and voice sweetly thrills my mind like robins twittering their song after the sunrise.
Cringe.
In another email, Chris informed her of the details concerning their upcoming future date, in which they would go to a concert to see Celtic Woman, an Irish music act, and afterwards would spend some time at a nearby Taco Bell. He informed her that his mother would probably come with him to meet her and her own parental escort. The Wallflower thought this idea sounded nice. Chris then expressed his wish that they keep the option of a relationship open for when the right time comes. She then revealed that she was going to the concert with a friend of hers and offered to meet up some other time. All the while, Christian continued answering mailbags from fans, with uploads of new Sonichu pages becoming more spread out. In Mailbag 46, he defended his tardiness in updating the comic. I have been drawing and coloring on a daily basis. I cannot help if I have a life to enjoy too. I have joined a young adult social group, and I've met a lovely woman there who likes me too. We are hitting it off like two hip wallflowers. You have a life too. Understand my needs, and let me have my life. Another letter highlighted the discovery that the name Christian Weston Chandler was an anagram for Antichrist Enhances World, and Devin Christopher George made another.
What?
Helios just
Hey, thanks for the sub, brother. I'm sorry, wait, what is it's an anagram for what?
Christian Weston Chandler was an anagram for Antichrist Enhances World, and Devin Christopher George made another appearance telling him that he would take legal action if Simonla didn't die in Chris's story. I'm not gonna just let it go because you're not a great director. You're a comic artist, and you have to deal with legal issues involving your characters when they arise. You can't pretend a lawsuit isn't imminent and just hope it goes away if you ignore it. This is serious, and if you don't do something about this, I'll have to take some drastic measures. We're keeping track. In Mailbag 49, when asked about whether then US President Barack Obama should repeal the Don't Ask, Don't Tell military policy concerning homosexuals to allow them more freedom and encouragement to join the army, Christian stated that the policy should be repealed so that more gay men could die in explosions.
Wow, that's pretty based if you really think about it. Jesus Christ. That's so fucked up. But I guess it makes sense. You just put them all on the front lines. Didn't they do that to black people back in the day? They would just put all the black people on the front line and have them get sacrificed first. I think the only argument there would be like, okay, well, if you have the gay people there, you'd have to have whole like squads of gay people and send them out, you know, because if you had them work with other people and then they were, the argument is generally that like gay people aren't able to do the same things as straight people because they are gay and they stink. So you'd, this is fucking logic, okay? So you'd have to kind of, you'd have to mitigate that issue.
It was also around this time that he was linked to a fan forum called Sonichu Forum, where he conversed with presumed fans and answered their questions for about 4 days.
They do that with poor people too? Interesting. It's interesting. So you're telling me back in the day, rich veterans, or they actually didn't do anything? Shit, what a fucking world.
On January 28th, Alec managed to get Chris to answer his phone to have another talk.
I would have expected to call at 9:30, but anyway...
I actually did try to call at 9:30. I didn't get an answer, so I thought I'd try again. You're kind of a difficult man to get a hold of, Chris.
Yeah, I can talk for a few minutes, so let's try not to belabor this conversation.
They discuss Chris's ongoing woes concerning ads on Wikipedia, copyright issues, and the problem Chris had with Alec's character being named after Asperger's syndrome.
Chris, we don't choose our names. I mean, our names are given to us. I mean, think of it this way. The name Asperchu, if you think of that as a detriment, I don't, but if you interpret the comic that way, think of it as a personal, a sort of character flaw, if you will, that he has to work to overcome. And all good characters have character flaws. Sometimes characters don't always live the happiest lives in fiction, but that's part of what makes good fiction.
Yeah. But still, I mean, with that, think about it. I mean, what if your parents had named you Asper? Like as if like a foretell, you had Asperger. You would have Asperger's.
Okay, Chris, that's part of the, again, the character flaw. Asperchu has things weighing him down. He has curses, and that's part of what makes a good character. I mean, you wouldn't make a character that's just, all-powerful and perfect in every way and has no real problems ever, would you? That'd be kind of boring.
That's true.
Complex characters have problems that they overcome.
I mean, as an individual, within his own world, outside of your control, Asperchu would not want that name. He would be in agreement with me and probably want to change his name to something like Mitch. Right? Have you ever watched the movie Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yes, I have. It was a good movie.
Yeah,
dude, what? That's actually like next level IQ right there. Chris is trying to argue that he changed the character to Mitch Chu, I guess, because Asperchu wouldn't want that name because it's Asperger's Chu. So he changed it to Mitch Sonic. I don't know why he wouldn't change it to Mitch Chu. Because you have Rose Chu, but whatever. But Mitch wouldn't like that name, so he'd want to change it. It kind of makes sense. It kind of does make sense.
The whole toon world there, and within that, it would coincide with the comic book world, and every individual comic, published or unpublished, drawn all together. And within the world actually would reside your Asperchu. That he would be with his individual thoughts, and she gave him an adult attitude. With his individual thoughts, he would hate having the name of Asperchu because it emphasizes his mental problem. And he's like, in his process of wanting to move on from that and become more acceptable in society, that he would not want a name that would make him feel
like
as if he's still living it.
The logic is there.
Fully recovered from it.
Okay, but Chris, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, that was still a movie, and everything in it was predetermined by the movie writers and the director. And I mean, there is no, alternate cartoon world in reality. I mean, cartoon characters don't actually think and feel things.
You obviously are
you don't say that
about that because you're not understanding that possibility of that universe actually existing.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. That's crazy. I forgot. Chris has an attachment to all the things that he makes because they all exist in some other dimension. So logically, you'd want to be, I guess, nice to some of these characters because they could be real people. But then on the other hand, when you murder people in the comics, you actually believe that a version of that happens in the real world, which means you're actually complicit in murder? Wow. Incredible.
I believe that when an artist creates a cartoon character, that character actually becomes real. Is that what you're saying to me?
Within that universe, yes.
But the universe is fake. I mean, the Asperchu universe exists on paper and in my computer. It's whatever I write it to be. Here's a question for you. If you think a character would want, an appropriate name, a good name, not a name that, called them out on something or sets them back. Sonichu is the name of a species, correct? Sonichus and Rosechus, those are a species, right?
Yeah, but he was the first original Sonichu, and she was the original Rosechu.
But they still want their own name.
And they each came up with their name on their own. And they did not need a nickname to go with that.
Would you be comfortable if the name Christian Weston Chandler, didn't exist and you were just called man or person or something?
Okay, well, still, what if you actually conceived a child with your girlfriend or wife? Then would you feel that you actually own that child, even after you had raised it from being a baby to, let's say, late teenage years, where that child would actually feel more like an individual, independent being?
Chris, you do understand that a child, a human being, is substantially more than a comic character, right? They're not the same thing. They're not even close. Of course I would name a child. Children are real, and children are not our property. I mean, if I had a child, I would give it all the love and support it needed, but it is its own person, or he or she, I should say.
Yeah.
Whereas a comic character is it's whatever you draw on paper or in Photoshop.
What if she was on the other foot? What if Asperchu created you?
Well, then I'd be a comic character myself, and I wouldn't have any thoughts or feelings. So that's a moot point.
You think that comic character would not have their own thoughts and feelings?
No.
Are naive.
Chris, you have told me that you think that a comic character is fundamentally as much of a person as a real human being. That is the naive thought.
No,
I'm the writer. I'm like the god of the Asperchu world. I decide what goes on in Asperchu's world. I decide who and what Asperchu is and what he thinks and feels, if anything, which he doesn't because it's still just a character on paper. And when I put the pen down, Asperchu stops being there. Nothing exists in Asperchu's world that I haven't drawn. It's naive to think that there's anything more. I think we should agree to disagree on this point because we both have our own thoughts on it. I'm actually getting some letters about Sonichu, about why you're not updating daily, and I was kind of curious about that.
Well, for your information, I am updating daily. I draw a column of 2 pages a day. I can't help it if I don't have access to my computer or if I can't get to it right away. Besides which, my biological clock has been fickle on me. It's been making me good.
What? Oh.
Making me fall asleep earlier.
Okay.
Maybe we could get an alarm clock. I'm just kind of confused why I would spend an hour to draw a page but not take that extra 60 seconds to upload it.
It takes more than 60 seconds to scan it and fit it in Photoshop, then upload it. It probably would take half an hour for all that to work.
I didn't know that you did Photoshop work with your pages. What do you use Photoshop for, if I may ask?
To change it from handwritten text to more legible typed text.
If I remember right, I think kind of one of the criticisms you had about Asperchu was that it was not completely, hand-drawn original, because I do use Photoshop in part of my creative process. But it sounds like you actually do kind of the same thing, which is, that's fine. I mean, digital media is where the art world is going. But see, I thought that you drew it all on paper and then uploaded it.
I will say this is the most respectable troll so far. He's like really testing Christians' fucking actual moral foundations. It's very bizarre, though. It's still a troll. It's very bizarre. It's very bizarre.
Well, for your information, I did draw it all on paper. The only part that I edit in Photoshop is the text, what you read.
Well, it just seems a little hypocritical that you do use Photoshop in the creative process, but you criticize me for it. I mean, don't you think?
No, actually, what I thought is that you skip the hand drawing and you draw everything on your Photoshop with a computer mouse.
What I do, I use a tablet and I draw on that, and that's basically the same thing as pen and paper, except what I draw just goes right onto the computer screen. So I don't use a mouse. It's the same.
Okay, but still, it's crappy compared to mine. Even my mother agrees.
Oh, hey, come on, that's a little insulting, Chris. What do you mean crappy? I mean, my mother says that my comic is, the most beautiful comic she's ever seen too, but I kind of think that's just because she's a supportive mother. Mothers are supposed to support their children in their endeavors. Yeah. I mean, it's okay to disagree. I'm curious why you think it's crappy.
Because it's computer drawn. It's not originally hand drawn.
I just told you it is hand drawn. It's hand drawn on a tablet.
You don't have the old-fashioned original pencil or pen markings. That's what I have.
Why is Chris such a fucking elitist? Holy shit.
So, because I don't have, smudge marks on my paper? Is that what you mean? Okay, by comparison, could I say that our car is not, true original transportation because, people should be using old-fashioned horses? I mean, you use Photoshop for lettering.
Or walking.
We're one and the same here, Chris.
Alec then brings up the issue of Simonla.
And Evan wanted me to talk to you about that, about using Sonichu. Sonichu was his creation, and he used that without permission. And he's asked you several times to get rid of Sonichu and Simonla or whatever.
Yeah, but actually, Simonla was never really inspired from Simon Chu. I took an original Rose Chu, I changed her to a ground color, gave her the complexion, added an armadillo shell, and then a few drills in appropriate places. Kind of like how I took a Sonic and made him yellow and gave him a goatee and glasses and a Buddha belly, and thus was born Asperchu. I mean, why didn't you just say that to Evan in the first place? Because he's been emailing you for a long time. Okay. Let's see. I'm looking at the Simonla page on your Wikipedia here. You say that about on or before August 26, 2008, I received an email from Evan George submitting his Sonichu fan art to me, then later submitted his idea for Simon Chu. It did not strike me as good at first, but for a few months I wanted to create a ground type. So from Simon Chu, I created Simonla Rose Chu. That's on the Simonla article on your Wikipedia. I mean, that's smoking gun, Chris. That's proof that you used Simon Chu as a base.
Oh my god.
I'm not trying to attack you with this, but I really think this is evidence that you should get rid of Simon.
It's just so stupid because, who cares? It's all just bullshit. What is it? It's just so fucking dumb. They're just fucking fake Pokemon. Bro, I couldn't imagine putting this much energy and effort into trolling this guy. It's fucking insane, dude. Holy shit. This is fucking nuts.
And Simonla. write him out. Because the facts are right there, Chris. I want to let you know that you do need to comply with Evan's demands. Because, he's talking about litigation, and he said that he'd back off if you acknowledge in the comic and write Sonichu and Simona out and, say that they will be done and gone forever. I mean, would you be willing to do that? Write them out?
I'll think about it.
Okay, well, don't think too long. I mean, this is a serious issue.
Anyway, I'm feeling tired right now.
Okay, well, maybe I'll let you go. You have a good night, Chris.
All right, good night.
Okay.
As another creator managed to converse about the creative process with Chris, his peculiar attachment to his characters was made crystal clear. Quickville had become more than a hobby, more than an ambitious dream of stardom, even more than a way to live out his fantasies. In Christian's mind, at least, it had become a tangible reality, inhabited by living, breathing cartoon characters. For as he had stated before, Chris was truly young at heart.
He did say that. He did say that. Okay. Wow. Beautiful. Beautiful episode. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and another special shout out to all my Patreon and Twitch subs. If you'd like to support this channel further than you already have by just watching the video alone, go down to the links below where you can sub on my Patreon, which will allow you to get your name on this beautiful black wall. Or you can go to the Twitch page and you can actually use a free Amazon Prime sub, if you have Amazon Prime, to subscribe. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.